He serves on the House Oversight Committee. Congressman, thank you for joining us. Now, the viewing will take place tomorrow in a skiff on Capitol Hill. The FBI will first brief your fellow Oversight Committee members, Congressman Jamie Raskin and Chairman Comer. So when you get to see the document, what language or wording will you be looking for?
Well, Arthel, thanks for having me on. What we're going to be looking for is really twofold. Is obviously the document's contents, and are they credible? Because sources say that this is from a source that has been highly credible in the past, all the way back to the Obama administration. And then furthermore, did the FBI do their jobs? Because it's our job on the Oversight Committee to ensure the FBI does their job. And did they exhaust every lead? Did they, I don't know, do a full investigation? Because after all, they are the FBI, the Federal Bureau of what? Investigations.
Got it. Well, Senator Chuck Grassley claimed the document describes an alleged criminal scheme involving, again, then Vice President Biden, quote, relating to the exchange of money for policy decisions. We're talking $5 million, allegedly. So if the document confirms suspicions and allegations, what happens next?
Well, again, if the FBI has exhausted every lead and said, listen, we tried to track all this down and we couldn't really confirm it, that's one thing. But if they haven't, that's quite another. And the FBI has been accused by, among several quarters of holding the water for the Bidens and protecting them. We've had credible whistleblowers say that. So that's going to be very important. But what it really points to as well, Arthel, is what did the Biden family do? What business does Hunter Biden provide? What service does he provide, or what goods does he sell? We don't know that. And why 170 suspicious activity reports generated by their activity?
Yeah, pardon me, but let's stick to the document, because that's the whole idea. You're going to finally get to see this. You've done a lot of work to make sure this happens. So I already asked you if the document disproves or dispels suspicions and allegations. That's what I want to ask you now. I asked you if it does confirm what's going to happen. Now, conversely, if it disproves or dispels suspicions and allegations, will that exonerate then Vice President Biden?
Oh, no, not at all, because it's just one document. It's an FD 1023. It's one claim. There's so many others because, Arthel, what we've been doing is going where the evidence leads us. And every time we find something, we discover 3, 4 more things. And Joe Biden could have ensured that this investigation ended years ago if he's done nothing wrong by simply opening up his records and sharing them. His bank records, Hunter Biden's bank records, but instead they've been luring up and dragging their feet for the last 2.5 years.
And, you've already stated it here in this conversation so far. The FBI has certainly come under fire. Is the FBI credible? Let me finish. Either when the agency is investigating the former vice president or the former president, is the FBI and its sources credible?
Of course, you hope so, but you also don't want to see a two-tier justice system where one party is protected and the other one is exposed and, thrown under the bus, if you will. So that's what their jobs is. I don't want the FBI to be weaponized. I don't want the FBI to be political. But unfortunately, we've seen time and again that that's not the case. And so I'll tell you something about this document. If it hasn't been fully investigated, there's going to be hell to pay.
So, Congressman, I mean, you're doing a really good job of sort of squirming around my questions. And what I see you setting up, hang on, let me finish, please, sir. Okay. What I see you setting up, quite frankly, is that if this document doesn't give you the evidence that you're looking for, then you're going to keep digging. Even if it does, you're going to keep digging. So it seems like no matter what is in this document, no matter what the FBI does or doesn't do, they're political. So it just is going to have this malaise of just confusion that will keep going and going and going. And I think that the American public would like to get some firm answers and not to have this process. If you're saying the FBI is politicized, then let's not even politicize the process.
No, Arthel, not at all. In this particular instance, we're going to be very fair. If this document, if the FBI can, when Director Wray brings this document over, I hope he doesn't just bring the document. I hope he also brings a file, a very thick file. It's showing that they have investigated this fully and exhausted every lead. If they have done that for this particular instance, I'll be more than happy to say the FBI did their due diligence on this FD 1023 form. It doesn't exonerate them from all of the other things that they've been accused of by investigating parents that have, gone to school board meetings and the former president, President Trump, are they treating him fairly, et cetera. But in this particular instance, we will be fair, and as I think we always are.
Okay, well, what are you expecting? How long do you expect this will happen? Again, you don't know how long this form is. You're going to get, again, the process tomorrow is that the committee leaders will get it, you will get it, and then the rest of Congress will get a chance to see it. So that's going to take a while for everyone to take a look at it and read it and come up with their conclusions. How long do you think this will last?
Well, I think the document itself, we'll be looking at it this week, and then it'll either be added to the investigation or it'll be dismissed. Again, the FBI and some sources themselves have said this comes from a very credible person that the FBI has used in other investigations. And you tend to, if you're credible, you tend to be consistent in that regard. So Joe Biden could end this investigation tomorrow if he simply released his bank records, cooperated with our investigation, and if Hunter Biden and Jim Biden as well had done that, we wouldn't be talking here today about this. Yeah, well, there have been reports that says there's no smoking gun directly related to Vice President Biden. But let me close with this, Congressman. Again, thank you for your time. How crucial is the FBI and the credibility of the FBI to our national security? Oh, I think it's very important. It's vital. This is the top law enforcement agency and investigative authority for the federal government. And I grew up, probably like you as well, thinking they were beyond reproach. And then we just see time and again that recently, over the last, say, 10, 15 years, that wasn't necessarily the case. And it really it hurts my heart, quite frankly, as an American. So we want to do everything we can to ensure that they are apolitical, and that they're not going to be weaponized. I don't want a Republican FBI, and I don't want a Democratic FBI. I just want an FBI that serves justice.
That's the way it should be. Sounds good. So you represent, I think, the DFW area, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right. I love
the
Big
fourth,
D.
The fourth
All right, we're going to end it there.
All right.
Yes, I know. And Dallas is included. Love Dallas. All right, Texas Congressman Pat Fallon, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, Arthel. God bless.
Well, you can get great barbecue and